Lucas checked the clock on his dashboard, 1:13 a.m. He was driving home from a late-night shift at the diner, the road stretching ahead like an endless black ribbon under the dim glow of his headlights. The full moon hung low in the sky, casting an eerie light over the desolate countryside. He yawned, fighting the weariness that tugged at his eyelids. The road was empty, save for the occasional flicker of an animal darting across. Lucas had driven this route countless times, but tonight, something felt off. The silence was oppressive, broken only by the hum of his engine and the occasional rustle of the wind. As he rounded a bend, he saw a figure standing by the side of the road, illuminated by his headlights. It was a woman, her long hair flowing in the breeze, dressed in a simple white dress. Lucas slowed down, his heart beating a little faster. It wasn't often you saw someone out here at this hour. He pulled over, rolling down the passenger side window. "Do you need help?" he called out. The woman nodded, her face pale and eyes wide with fear. "Please, can you give me a ride? My car broke down a few miles back, and my phone's dead." Lucas hesitated. Picking up strangers in the middle of the night wasn't usually a good idea, but she looked genuinely frightened. "Sure, get in." She climbed into the car, her movements quick and nervous. As she settled into the seat, Lucas noticed her hands trembling. He pulled back onto the road, glancing at her out of the corner of his eye. "What were you doing out here so late?" "I was visiting my parents," she replied, her voice barely above a whisper. "I live a few towns over, but I got lost." Lucas nodded, trying to keep the conversation light. "Happens to the best of us. What's your name?" "Laila," she said, offering a weak smile. "Thanks for stopping. Not many people would." "No problem, Laila. I'm Lucas." He offered her a reassuring grin, but her eyes remained fixed on the road ahead, her expression distant. Minutes passed in silence, the tension in the car palpable. Lucas tried to shake off the unease settling over him. "So, where exactly are you headed?" "Just the next town," Laila said, her voice growing softer. "There's a gas station there. I can call for help." "All right, we'll be there soon," Lucas assured her. He turned up the radio, hoping the music would break the tension, but the static crackled ominously, sending a shiver down his spine. As they drove, Lucas couldn't shake the feeling that they were being watched. He glanced in the rearview mirror, but the road behind them was empty. His grip on the steering wheel tightened. "Everything okay, Laila?" She didn't respond, her eyes wide and fixed on something ahead. Lucas followed her gaze and felt his blood run cold. A figure stood in the middle of the road, dressed in the same white dress Laila wore. "What the?" Lucas swerved, narrowly missing the figure. The car skidded to a halt, and he turned to Laila, but she was gone. The passenger seat was empty, the door still locked. Heart pounding, Lucas stepped out of the car, scanning the darkness. "Laila," he called out, his voice echoing in the night. There was no response, just the eerie silence of the countryside. He walked to where the figure had been, but there was no one there. The air was cold, and a sense of dread settled over him. He got back into the car, locking the doors and speeding away, his mind racing. As he drove, he saw her again, Laila, standing by the side of the road, her eyes pleading. Lucas's heart hammered in his chest. He slammed on the brakes, but when he looked again, she was gone. Panic set in as Lucas realized he was driving in circles. No matter which way he turned, the road seemed to stretch endlessly, leading him back to the same spot. The clock on the dashboard flickered, 2:13 a.m. A low whisper filled the car, and Lucas felt a chill run down his spine. "Help me," the voice pleaded, echoing in his ears. He slammed his hands on the steering wheel. "What do you want?" The whisper grew louder, more insistent. "Help me." Desperation clawed at Lucas's mind. He pulled over, tears streaming down his face. "I don't know what to do," he cried out. Suddenly, the radio crackled to life, a voice cutting through the static. "Lucas, you need to help her." He stared at the radio, his breath hitching. "Who are you?" "She's trapped," the voice continued. "Lost between worlds. You must find her car and free her spirit." Lucas's mind raced. He remembered Laila saying her car had broken down. He had to find it. He drove back the way he came, his eyes scanning the roadside. After what felt like hours, he spotted it, a rusted, abandoned car hidden in the bushes. He pulled over and approached it cautiously. The air grew colder, and the whispering intensified. Inside the car, Lucas found a faded photograph of Laila and a newspaper clipping. The headline read, "Woman found dead after car accident." His blood ran cold as he realized the truth. Laila had died here, lost and alone. Her spirit had been trapped, seeking someone to help her find peace. With trembling hands, Lucas whispered, "I'm here to help you, Laila." A soft, warm breeze brushed against his cheek, and the whispers ceased. The oppressive silence lifted, replaced by a serene stillness. Lucas felt a sense of peace wash over him. He got back into his car and drove away, the road ahead clear and bright. As he glanced in the rearview mirror, he saw Laila standing by the side of the road, smiling softly before fading into the night. Lucas drove on, the dawn breaking over the horizon, knowing he had helped her find her way home. Please support our channel by subscribing, liking, sharing, and commenting with your thoughts. Thank you for listening.